solar generators and solar panels. Now, I will say this, for those of you that do DIY stuff, and don't take this personal, I don't care, we're not going to be talking about that, because that's not what this class is about. This class is about basic, smart stuff, okay? And how to do it economically and get the biggest bang for your buck. How many of you do not have or have a solar generator? How many of you do not have one?
Oh, I just have a battery bank.
Okay, so you have built your own system though?
No, it's, I bought it.
Okay.
But it's just something I charge up and then use.
Okay.
It's not a generator.
Right, okay, gotcha. And you have a DIY stuff which we cannot talk about.
No, I'm not even
because-
doing
No, I'm just saying,
That's why I went like this, because I
We're
knew
not,
what
we're
we
not
were
talking
doing.
about batteries and acid and level, we're not doing
No,
that.
I wasn't
Okay.
even going
Please
that way.
hold all questions and statements till the end.
Yes, thank you, Professor. Hold all questions to the end, we will get to them. Ghost is going to help me because he is our resident engineer. And I talked to him and about other stuff that we're doing in our house, which I'm not even gonna mention because it comes under that DIY thing, plain and simple. But I'm gonna tell you, everybody should have at least one solar generator, period. I don't care. I taught a class last year. Do you guys know that 73% of Americans do not have any type of generator whatsoever? That includes gas, diesel, dual fuel, solar, anything. Do not have it.
Right.
73%.
I learned that during Hurricane Sandy. All my neighbors ran over to my house because they heard my generator.
Right. So, and for OPSEC reasons, I will never use a gas generator. Because for those of us that live in the sticks, you fire up a gas generator, you go 2 miles away, what do you hear? You hear that gas generator. Yeah.
Only assholes use gas generators.
Yeah, that's why you have how many? Exactly. So, that's one thing to think about. I don't care what kind of generator you have and or use. I don't care if it's gas, diesel, dual fuel, propane, whatever. But keep in mind, you got OPSEC to deal with that, plus you got to store the fuel that's going to run it, especially in a grid down situation. Okay? My solar generators are a backup to a backup. That I will never have to go to my first level because it has a short lifespan, meaning it's fueled by propane. But I have a 1,000-gallon propane tank. Am I gonna run that thing consistently? Absolutely not. That's the beauty of being able to turn it on, turn it off. So, solar is in my opinion, the best OPSEC generator you can get because you can run it in the house. Folks will not hear it and then nor see it. But there's other controls you have to do. You can't have all these solar generators and light the whole house up and the neighborhood's dark. Because then you're gonna get people coming knocking on your door. So things like blackout curtains, stuff like that, you gotta put that in all of your plans for a grid down situation, period. I think everybody knows one of our good partners is Opus. And I actually did a whole bunch of research before I even agreed to deal with it. By far, for the watt hour, what it costs per watt hour, right now Opus is at about 29 to 30% per watt, 30 cents per watt. Nobody can beat their price. So, in other words, that translates to nobody beats the prices of an Opus generator. I don't care which one it is, but what are some things that, for those of you that have, solar generators, what were some of the deciding factors that made you get what you got?
If it'll run a refrigerator.
Refrigerator. I heard something else.
Backup power.
Backup power.
I had to run my well,
Well pump.
so I had to have 240.
Bingo.
I'm an Opus fan, I know you are. They don't do 240 yet.
Key
But,
word is yet.
but,
Yes,
Back at-
Mark and I have had this
yes, we have.
conversation.
More than one.
And what he did and what he said, for those of us that live in the country, water is life. Your well pump has to run, you got no water. Well pumps run on 240.
Yes, it is.
In the story. And I know exactly why he did what he did, because I was looking at the exact same thing. And I asked Opus, I said, look, my subscribers, the majority of them, or a great number of them, live in the sticks, have a homestead, live in rural areas, and have a well pump that needs 240. Y'all need to come up with a 240 solution. My rep emailed me back and said there is one coming in 2025. They're coming out with a solution this year. And I said, you're gonna send me how many?
To give away.
That too, I will. I told him, I said, give me 2.
That's a pretty major giveaway.
And
Money
that's
goes up.
Yes.
Okay, money goes up.
Money goes
when
up,
you go
yes.
240.
Yeah, I told him, I said, I want 2. One for me, and I'm giving one away, whether you like it or not. You're going to send me 2. I looked at some numbers, and that was my justification, because I saw the numbers, and I said, yeah, this is what you're going to do for me. And I will say this, for those of you that are content creators, and I don't care the size of your channel, find solid affiliates you can work with. I don't care if your channel is 500 subscribers, 300 subscribers, or 150,000 subscribers. Find good, solid companies you can work for, and I work with, and I can say Opus is. And the second reason why I jumped on board with Opus, after I was educated by Alaska Prep. Rudy called me on the phone. Called me. I said, Rudy, I'm seeing you, and I'm going to buy X solar generator. He said, nope. He said, give me your phone number. Rudy did not have to do this. He took an hour and a half of his time on the phone with me for the very first time. And he said, and I love what he said, what do you need to power during a power outage? I said, technically, I don't need to run nothing, but I have other people that live in my house that like to do stuff.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so, and I'll leave it at that. So, you know, he literally said, what are you looking at? And I told him, and he said, have you looked at Opus? I said, who?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, Opus. I said, no. He said, and we got on a Zoom chat, brought it up. He said he opened up 2 web browsers. And he pulled up the one I said I was looking at, and he pulled up a comparable, cheaper, and more powerful one from Opus. And he compared. We went down the list of every single component. He said, for the money, you're getting more watt hours with X brand from Opus than you're going to get from Y brand from them, and look how much money you're saving. I said, okay, thanks, I appreciate it. He did not have to do that. And he said, oh yeah, by the way, he said, you may want to become an affiliate of theirs. He said, they're doing some amazing stuff. So that's when I started researching Opus. And y'all know now, they have the Opus Health Project, which, first of all, every generator that they sell, 5% of the profits go back into the communities. And that's where they have the Opus Health Project. For anybody who has medical conditions that need life-saving medical equipment, and I have 2 subscribers that I personally know of that has applied to it, which is free. And they help. Wolfman.
They're wonderful.
He'll tell you flat out.
Yep. Should be.
Yes. They give back.
Hurt my feelings to have.
I know.
It-
I
you
so
and
when
I
we
never
had that
talked.
conversation.
It hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to, I'm not gonna spend it again.
Right.
But I'm really looking forward to y'all being able to get
Do that. Yeah, exactly.
It's a good product.
And I told him, I said, I needed 240 solutions, period, in the story. For sending me stuff and telling me, yes.
Question on the 240.
Yes.
Considering if you have multiple power banks, can you run a line 1 and a line 2 from one bank
No.
to another bank? Not
No.
connected,
No.
and just make it 240?
No.
Okay.
You know,
What? Okay, squirrel.
yes. Go ahead.
If you do that,
Yes,
you have 240 everywhere.
right. You
So
can't
your
split-
refrigerator
is
is
going to-
gonna run on 240.
Yes. Which,
It probably won't do
Correct.
anything but trip your breaker.
it's going to,
But-
but it could
The-
ruin your
You need the
refrigerator.
technology that is in the 240 to switch it.
Yes.
It's smart technology.
yes.
It runs 240 where 240 needs to be,
Mhm.
120 where 120.
Nice.
It is a safety.
Yeah. It's a safety
issue.
feature. It knows what it needs
Right.
and it delivers what it needs to where it is. Right.
And each time it would be 240, you gotta go
Technology
to
is
120,
DC
it'll last twice as long.
converting to AC.
Yes.
DC current is much stronger
Yep.
than AC current. So
Yes.
without getting into too much electrical stuff.
Correct.
So 220.
That's not what we're here for.
Correct.
DC will kill you on 12 volts.
Yes, it will. DC will kill you in a heartbeat.
So this is something the home engineer don't need to be home engineer.
Correct.
This,
Yeah.
and not only can it kill you, it can damage your equipment,
Yes.
your home equipment, your TVs, your computers, your refrigerator, your freezer.
Everything that's
After
plugged
the
in.
power comes back on,
Yes.
yours,
It'll cook it.
it will not work.
Yeah, it'll toast inside.
So-
I'm talking that quick.
Again, I realize we are squirreling right now, we're
Right.
tangent, but. and
But
I-
it needs to be
But
heard.
that's why when he walked up and said, we're not gonna talk about DIY stuff,
Yeah.
this is safe.
Yes.
This is,
This
will
is
not kill you
no-brainer.
or damage your equipment.
Yeah.
And this is a money prep, not a overthinking prep.
Correct.
Work on saving the money to get the generator that you need for your situation.
Correct.
Because you're gonna be safe and you're not gonna be dead.
Not yet.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, bro. I'm glad you handled it very eloquently, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
And that's the bottom line. Just like when we were talking about starting a fire. Okay? I don't care about ferro rods and this, that, and the other, because the first thing I'm gonna do is pull out a freaking big light. And guess what? If this doesn't work, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna toss it and go get another one out of the bag that has probably 800 of them in it. I'll find one out of 800.
Right.
Yeah. So with solar generators, I always tell people, because I'm that guy that they say, well, what should I get? And my first question is a solar generator. Because you ask me a generic question, you're gonna get a generic answer. So basically I'm saying, what do you need to run in your house, grid down SHTF event? What do you need to run besides our well pump? What do y'all need to run? Refrigerator, freezers, medical devices.
Yeah, those are,
Okay?
the TV's not important.
TV's not important, the internet's gone. Cable's out.
Yep.
We're down to bare bones necessities. Food, water, shelter, communications and security, and medical. Those are the 6 topics that matter at all times and only. If anything does not fall in one of those 6 categories, I don't care about it. So, refrigerators. Most refrigerators are 110, they're 110. I don't care how many watts. 1800 maybe, maybe.
Yeah, on peak. When they're
On
starting.
peak, when that motor, when they start up. So y'all all know, grid down situation, you open refrigerator doors, you just started the time ticking, right? Yep. Okay. So, refrigerator. How long do we need to power a refrigerator with a generator?
You don't have to start till at least 14 hours after.
Exactly. And then all we need to do is plug it in. You'll hear the motor on the refrigerator or freezer kick on, and it's gonna run until when?
Satisfied.
Until it's happy, back down to its whatever normal temperature it is, and it cuts off. Guess what? You just did a clock reset for that device. Unplug it and pull it off of it. You ain't gotta sit there and plug that thing and let it run for the next 8 days. You run it until the compressor kicks off, because you just did a reset on it and got some time back. And now you can move on to whatever's next. That's why I say write everything down. Make a list, literally, of the things you need to power in your house when grid down. I saw. It's not here anymore. It disappeared. How many of y'all have up the pop-up lanterns? Okay. Thank you, and good. Have them all over my house. So I don't care if the lights go out. Well, technically, because I'm that guy, I can walk around in the house in pitch black dark and run into nothing. Because all the guys, I'm talking to dads, fathers, and husbands, you should and you must be able to do that. And that's a whole nother class, and if y'all want to stay Sunday, we'll talk about it. But it is what it is. So, pop-up lanterns. Pop it up. My wife is like, when that happened, she was like, I love you. Literally, you can, as you walk through the house, in main corridors is one of those lanterns. She has one right beside her side of the bed. We have one nightstand in our bedroom. Guess where it is?
On your side.
No, it's on her side.
Oh, good.
I need, what I need a nightstand for? I got a 170-pound puppy laying next to me.
Right.
I need no nightstand. What, something else for him to walk up to and literally set his head on it and look around and see what's up there? Yeah, I'm like, no. So she has a pop-up lantern. You come down the hallway, there's another one right there. Whatever way you go, within 7 or 8 steps, there's another one. So if you pull and light all those up, guess what?
You don't need the house lights anymore.
You don't need the house lights. And guess what else? You can't even see those on from outside.
Right.
Can't see them. Can't
Let
see
alone
them.
the waterproof, depending on which one you get.
Care about waterproof. I'm in a house. My roof is not gonna leak. And if it's leaking, there's a massive, epic fail on my part. But I got things I need to run. Yeah. We had a power outage.
There's math with generator.
Yeah, there,
There's
yeah.
math.
Yes, there's
And
math.
that's exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
There's math.
So, my solar generators are literally my alternative to my main source. I'm not gonna lie, I got a 23 kilowatt generator that's connected to my house. That, when the power goes out, it automatically kicks on. But because of me being me, guess what? It's turned off and locked closed. Because the power goes out, I don't want that thing to kick on automatically. Because guess what? Just like that gas generator that you fired up and you did 2 miles down the road, the Genrec's the same way. The thing is loud. It's loud. It's a generator. Yeah. And yeah, it has an engine in it. Yes. So
Here one now.
yes. Yes. Listen. You hear that? How many of y'all hear that generator running?
That is a mighty inverter.
Correct. That has an inverter in it, so it's quieter
Very much.
than your typical gas generator. How many of y'all heard that last night? How many of y'all heard me saying yeet? Yeah, somebody go pick that thing.
How many of y'all gonna get the food now?
How many of us are not? Hey, I saw the flood come through. I'm telling y'all, don't touch the bottom 2 pork rinds. This man can cook.
Did you lick?
I think he put his finger in it. Yeah, but anyway.
Some devil dogs.
Right, so my gen rec, I turned it off so that it doesn't kick on automatically. Because the engineer and our group engineer and myself, guess what we're doing for my gen rec? We're building a soundproof box for it. I think that's a marvelous idea. That never dawned on me until somebody said something to me. I was like, I hate you, and you do. I gathered all the material, and said, here you go. You can measure it out, cut twice, measure twice, cut once, and build it. But those are things we gotta think about. But when it comes to these, exactly, it's a, okay, the power's out, I need to come in, babe, I know you were doing your care, but who cares, because we're not going nowhere now. And there it is. This weighs 49 pounds. This is the new Exodus 2400.